Grief does strange things to people. That's what I kept telling myself when my sister, Claire, started acting off. Her husband died 6 months ago. A sudden aneurysm, no warning. One day he was helping my husband, Daniel, fix our broken porch light. The next we were at his funeral. It was a tragedy, no question. They had been together for almost 10 years. We cried with her, cooked for her, stayed overnight so she wouldn't be alone. But over time, her grief shifted into something else, something I didn't want to name at first. She clung to Daniel, hard. At first it was subtle, little compliments, long hugs, late night texts asking for comfort. Then it got worse. She'd come over unannounced, wear low-cut tops, sit just a little too close to him on the couch. I tried to be patient, to be compassionate, but the day she pulled me aside in my own kitchen, took my hand and said, "You don't understand. I'm not meant to be alone. I think Daniel is supposed to be with me now." That's when something inside me broke. I looked into her eyes and realized she wasn't confused. She was calculating. She didn't want comfort. She wanted my life, my husband, my family. And that's when I decided if she was going to play dirty, I'd make sure she regretted ever looking in our direction. The thing about Emily, she was always dramatic, always had to be the center of attention. But accusing me of theft publicly in front of our entire family, that was something new, something cruel, and calculated. She knew exactly what she was doing. By the end of the picnic, half the family wouldn't look me in the eye. The other half did so with pity. I left without saying another word. I didn't beg, I didn't plead, I just walked. But I wasn't done. That night, I laid in bed staring at the ceiling, heart pounding, thinking back through every conversation, every side eye Emily ever gave me. And I realized this wasn't spontaneous. She wanted a villain, and I was the easiest one to cast, so I decided to give her something else instead: consequences. Emily worked from home, doing freelance interior design. Lately, she'd been bragging about some new boutique clients, people who paid in cash, didn't ask too many questions, and let her do what she wanted. On the outside, it looked like a nice creative hustle. But I knew my sister better than most, and I knew she wasn't clean. A few years ago, she'd gotten in trouble for using someone else's credit card on a design job by accident. Another time, she borrowed money from our cousin for rent and never paid it back. She always had some excuse, some fake apology with crocodile tears. Now, she had the whole family believing she was the victim again. So I started digging. I reached out to one of her old clients, a woman named Megan, who had posted about Emily on a local neighborhood forum a year ago. The post had since been deleted, but I remembered the gist. Unprofessional, disappeared with my deposit, blocked me. I messaged Megan. She responded within an hour. "You're not the first person asking questions," she wrote. We talked on the phone that night. Megan told me Emily had taken $2,000 from her up front, did one walkthrough, and then vanished. When Megan asked for her money back, Emily claimed she had expenses and blocked her. Megan filed a police report. Nothing came of it. Civil matter, they said. Sounded familiar, so I kept going. Found two more former clients with similar stories. Ghosted after deposits. Blocked when they asked questions. None of them wanted to go public. Embarrassed, frustrated, and tired. But me? I had nothing left to lose. My revenge wasn't going to be loud. It wasn't going to be violent. It was going to be perfect. Step 1, I created an anonymous Instagram account, iTruth on Emily, and uploaded screenshots of texts, emails, client complaints, and receipts. No commentary, just facts. Just evidence. I tagged the page in a few local community groups and left it to simmer. Within a week, the account had nearly 500 followers. Strangers were messaging it, sharing their stories. It snowballed into something bigger than me. Then came step 2. I anonymously emailed Emily's landlord. Attached to the email was a Dropbox folder full of complaints, screenshots, and tax documents I'd found showing her underreporting income on rental applications. He responded 3 days later by serving her a notice of inspection. Step 3? My masterpiece. I mailed a thick envelope of everything I'd compiled: statements, screenshots, testimonies, to every member of our extended family. No return address, just the word truth on the front. She wanted to destroy me publicly. I returned the favor. It didn't take long. First, her client base dried up. The Instagram page made sure of that. Then her landlord raised her rent, citing contract irregularities. Finally, our family, the same people who looked at me like I was a thief, started whispering about her instead. Aunt Karen called me a week later, hesitant, embarrassed. We had no idea. If you ever want to come by for dinner, I told her I'd think about it. The final straw? Emily called me. I stared at her name on my phone for a full minute before answering. She didn't scream. She didn't even curse. She just said, "It was never supposed to go this far." I kept my voice calm. "Neither was your lie." She sighed. "You were supposed to be my brother." "I was," I said. "You just didn't treat me like one." Click. Emily moved out of state a month later. No goodbye, no apology, just vanished, like she always did when things stopped going her way. Her reputation back home was ruined, clients gone, family embarrassed, and her name quietly erased from the social circles she once bragged about. Me? I got my life back. Not all at once. Trust doesn't return overnight. But the weight lifted. The whispers stopped. The pity stares faded. Revenge didn't make me happy. It didn't fix the hurt she caused. But it balanced the scales. She used truth like a weapon, twisted it into a blade, and drove it into my back. I just straightened it, sharpened it, and handed it back. Now, when family meets, they look me in the eye again. They don't talk about that picnic anymore. But I know they remember. And I know she will too. Forever.